You know what they say. Something's got to give. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see two teams, each riding a 3-game win streak, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Chargers' all-time passing leader, Philip Rivers, who's been their starter since 2006, trotting onto the field. And I'll tell you what, he may be just a couple of years from 40, but he can still do it. You look back to 2018, some people were whispering MVP and Rivers in the same breath with what he did in that campaign. Especially impressive in 2 December primetime victories, one against the Steelers, one against the division rival Chiefs. And although things ended not quite how they wanted in the playoffs to New England, Philip Rivers still feels like he has a lot left in the tank.
Yeah. 180. It's the mic right here. We go mic 40, mic 40. Bound to lose one.
Melvin Gordon, the two-time Pro Bowler. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And we get a quick look at the Chargers starting offense.
If you're going to talk about great players with the Chargers, you have to include their center, Mike Pouncey, a 4-time Pro Bowler. He and his brother Marquise for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they were the Pro Bowl centers for the AFC in 2018.
Second and 5 now. Rivers. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Coming into this one, ranked number 19 in the NFL against the Pats.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for L.A. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the second time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was only in 12 games played a season ago. He also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25, and 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it, give him 7 there on the first down carry. The numbers a week ago for Melvin Gordon, 20 carries, 91 yards.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
White 90. Ground 80. White 54. Hey, they scared. They scared. Hey. Come on.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them. They'll be led out by the runner-up for last year's MVP award, now in his 19th season, Drew Brees.
Just 3 weeks of games left in the NFL regular season. What's it going to take for him to win the MVP? What's it going to take?
Whatever it is, if he wants to strengthen that candidacy, no time like the present.
And let me tell you what I think. Not only does he have to play the clean game, no picks, things of that nature, he has to have at least one significant play that we'll talk about all next week. That'll really give him a higher profile.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's into the clear. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he's got this down to the 35. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On second down, here's Barkley. Room here to run. He's at the 40. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 14-7. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And it's complete. Henry. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Rivers sets up the screen to Gordon. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
It all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing, Rivers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 2nd down now, it's Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon hitting double double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes...
Now Barkley stripped of the football and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. On play action, now Breeze. This to C.J. Ham, the fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the run, it's Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. From the 38, Breeze. They're going deep here for Taylor. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Breeze now. And he finds Cook. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to regain the lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about one. Wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They're off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep.
We got this.
Melvin Gordon and the Chargers ready for their next possession. He's had it working pretty well here in this first half up until that last drive when he put it on the turf, Charles.
So I don't think they want to overreact to that fumble because now you've got a guy that's played so well. You don't want to take him and limit his effectiveness by worrying about it too much. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw him next week at meetings. He'd have a football with him at all times.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded at the 20. A good kick, 49 yards. Just 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well, you just continue to lean on that?
I agree. That's exactly what you do. And you have to kind of take your ego and put it aside because you always think your next throw is going to be your best throw, right? Your next play is going to be your best play. Lean on what's working for you right now. That should help carry your team to victory if things keep going in the direction that they are.
Yeah, because the formula has in the lead currently.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd down, Barkley. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings! Saquon Barkley on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. One more game still to get to in Week 15. It comes up tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. A lot of Manning fingerprints on this one. The Colts and the Saints from New Orleans.
That's what I do.
The first down throw here for Rivers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Rivers now to throw on first down. Benjamin's got it. And I think the ball's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Rivers, caught by Allen, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Rivers now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Rivers to throw it, completes it to Benjamin. And it's a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now it's Barkley, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Play action. Breeze. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeout.
And the Vikings first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
He'll lose a couple on what should be the final play of the first half. On 3rd down, Barkley. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. We have hit halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be fighting.
And he loses the football a second time. And picked up by the Chargers. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to throw here. Rivers to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 80 high. Wait, 80 high.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They'll run it again with Barkley. And an alley to run. Fancy footwork in midfield. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A first down carry for Barkley. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And picked up by the Chargers. The 30, 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well. And they may have run into him after the kick went away. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one, because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Again, it's Cook. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Watch Mike. Check tight.
Another try for Barkley. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead even further. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now, because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. on the field. Here comes Los Angeles. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch. Isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. Phillip Rivers, no stranger to fourth-quarter comebacks. He's led the Chargers back to victory 26 times coming into this year. He's by himself, Keenan Allen, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter, and don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Powerful running. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15. Now Barkley stripped of the football, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Desmond King there on the coverage. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Bailey now for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Next to score, Vikings 45, Chargers 35.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that...
Yeah, that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Chargers getting set to go. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Back to it after the pick six. Rivers going deep here for Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Barkley. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And some room to maneuver. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
53.
On 2nd and a couple. Breeze. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. He's at the 30. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Back to the ground. This time Cook. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On second down now, Barkley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on third. To throw is Breeze. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the two-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact, coaches might be secretly happy. Gives them a chance to do a little extra coaching next week.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On second and 10, Rivers, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Another try after the first down sack. Rivers got Gordon open, completes it. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Here's Rivers. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Rivers to throw for it on fourth. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move.